welcome to another installment of While Supplies Last, the marketing podcast. I am Candace.
And I'm Gabby. And today we have Cristal. She's a former hairdresser. She's a beauty bookkeeper. She's the owner of Beauty Pro Bookkeeping. She's also the host of the Beauty Bound podcast. And she's the social media extraordinaire for Sola Salons.
Yes. Damn shit. When you put it that way, that's a lot. Yes. Hi, guys. I'm so excited to actually, that you guys invited me to be on here. I am nervous, and I don't know why. I have a podcast, but for some reason, being on, on somebody else's podcast, I always get nervous. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're glad to have you. Cristal's actually one of our clients also. We love her so much, and we're so glad that she decided to join us today.
Yes, I'm excited. I think, because you guys, I don't know, you guys are cool, and I always love even just, coming talk to you guys when we have nothing to even, business-wise to talk about, but it's always fun to either come and steal your heat in your office or just to scare Jocelyn, those cool things. But I'm excited that you guys chose me.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you.
Yes,
Are you ready
it's gonna
to?
be a good conversation.
It is.
I feel it.
Yes, that's why. For me, I'm like, if you guys have questions, cool. I just if I have the questions to look at, believe me, I'm just gonna be like, because then I get all like, I think I overthink it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was like, no, you guys just, I'm good coming in blindly. Yeah.
So we did write some up. We knew you didn't want to see them though. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that. It's just not me. I don't know why. Like I feel like when people, and even like for my podcast, if I have an outline and I'm trying to go off that outline, I end up just kind of like closing down because I'm having to kind of remember everything that I have to talk about. And the other way, I'm just like, okay, like if you have questions, cool. Like ask me. But yeah.
I'm the opposite. I
Really?
need I need my guideline.
Yeah.
I mean, we usually like have a guideline, but a lot of times things end up going off script a little bit, especially when you dive deeper into some of the questions, and then we start like questions pop up in your head that you didn't think about before based off of what someone says, and then you start going down that, and then sometimes, sometimes you're like, well, let's reel it back.
You're like, all right, people, come on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I see them as like training wheels,
Yeah.
Like you just need a little help, and then you know, the regular wheels are there to help really guide you.
I think that's why Jackie's the one that is in charge of questions, or if like when we have a guest, if the guest does want the questions, I'm like, all right, Jackie, that's all you, because for me, I'm just gonna be like, oh, so then what did you, or I'll look over the questions, and then I start kind of just whatever I remember, and then she's like, well, she asked you all the questions already. I'm like, sorry. But yeah, so it's fun.
But are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So recently, we did a triage of a list of beauty professionals for a direct mail campaign. And a lot of the like names we were looking through, we were trying to find more information, and we saw that a lot of them didn't have websites.
Yes.
So do you think they're doing a disservice to themselves by not having a website?
100%. I think, for me, I always like, when I was a hairstylist, I always tried to work on something, even if it was just like a small website. It didn't have to be anything huge, at least like a landing page, or at least what I thought was, a landing page, because I knew nothing about it. But I feel like if hairstylists don't have a website, there is nobody that comes to you to look at your stuff. Like, it doesn't look as professional, I guess. I do have a few of my clients who have their websites, and they look really good. They're very well built. But then again, when you're trying to find more information about them, or to kind of, I guess, get to know them a little bit more, that's where their personality is going to come out in. It's through their website. Yeah. Right? Like Instagram could only do so much, I feel. And a website is, I don't know, it's a part of you. So yeah, I think like if you guys don't have websites, come on.
Yeah. Do you think it's like a financial thing holding them back, or is it like, oh, I don't know how to get started?
I think it's a little bit of both, because I know that getting started to build a website could get pricey if you don't know and it's not even knowing the right people, because there is people, or there's companies who will sit there and charge you a crap ton of money just because, I don't know, for whatever reason, because there's people that could charge like, I don't know, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, when in reality it shouldn't be that expensive. So I think when they go to bigger companies or corporations, that's when they're doing themselves, that's when they're making themselves like, oh shit, well, I can't afford this. Like it's so expensive. But we are not ones to do research when it comes to when you're a hairdresser or just in the beauty industry. When it comes to doing research for like products that we use, we go all out. But when it comes to the business aspect of it, we don't. And I don't know if it's just because, it stresses you out. It's more of like, oh man, like there's something more that I have to do. I have to take time from what I'm doing. And it's scary to have to spend that much money, I think, when you're first starting out. But I also think that nobody talks about it. Nobody tells you in beauty school that you should have a website. Nobody talks to you about marketing. Nobody talks to you about the business aspect of it. So I think if there was somebody that could kind of tell them, hey, these are the steps you should take, maybe they would be more open to doing that.
Yeah. Understandable, because a lot of it is based in like creativity.
Yes.
And I think also in other creative fields as well, like when you go to school for art and stuff, like they focus more so on craft.
Yes.
And teaching you the craft and not how to actually use it in the real world, or like how to do the business aspects of it. So a lot of times then you get out and then you're learning, having to teach yourself that.
Yeah.
Or if you have like mentors, you're basically going off like what your mentor is telling you, and then
exactly
they may not have updated information. Yes. So you're kind of like, well, this is what's worked for hairdressers or people in the beauty industry in the past, so this is just what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I mean, even when I went to school for business admin, I thought, okay, so what do I do next? Like. For the longest time, I didn't use my degree because I didn't know how to use it, I guess. And then everything that you learn is you only learn, I think, the beginning process of your craft in school, no matter what kind of craft you're in. And everything else, you learn it hands-on in real life.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so important to even go to, any networking events where there is marketing or people are going to talk about marketing, because that's the only way you're going to, I think, realize the things that are needed for your industry, especially like I said, I think for the beauty industry, we really do need a website. Yeah.
So why do you think that a lot of beauty industry people solely rely on, I know there's a lot on Instagram and TikTok, and they do well on those platforms. And that might also be one of the reasons why they don't get a website. A lot of people think, well, like, this is good enough.
Yeah.
Or, like, I know they get a certain amount of clientele off of that, and that kind of sustains them.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, I don't need to put any more into marketing. But why do you think that they will just rely on, like, social media?
Because it's free. Honestly, it's because of that. But they don't know. I think during the event that we had, even there, a lot of people didn't know that, all the things that all the panelists kind of spoke about. A lot of the girls there knew nothing about any of that, And there was another event that I had gone to where they spoke about email marketing, and they told them, like, okay, you have an Instagram and you rely so much on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. What happens if they crash one day and you don't have any of your client info? What do you do then? And everybody was kind of shocked, including myself, because I was like, oh shit, I never thought about that. Like, if that happens one day, like, I don't have all my followers info, like or an email list,
Yeah.
And I also sometimes rely just on Instagram. And then if you see my Instagram, there's times that I don't post, and it's one because I'm busy, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm busy with my work, so then I don't need to be posting. But that's not true, because I still need to be nurturing all those people who follow me already. And I think as hairdressers, it's the same thing. We're like, okay, well, we have enough clientele. So I don't have to be doing all these dances, or I don't have to be doing all these new trends or any of that,
Yeah.
They get comfortable. But what we don't think about is like, okay, yeah, we might have a full book, and we think that Instagram is the only thing, or we kind of, that's, when we're comfortable, that's that. And in reality, no, you always have to be building, so you have a wait list, and then eventually you could be like, all right, I'm going to raise my prices. People are going to leave you, and you get new people in. Yeah.
And it's better to have to post
Yeah.
like, I'm not taking any new clients
Exactly.
now than you have a client list, and then all of a sudden people drop off, and
Yeah.
now you're struggling to get back
Exactly.
that time that you weren't putting into your social media.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of times when we were triaging the list too, like looking for people, I was able to find them
Yeah.
on social media, but it was like, are they still
Nothing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you haven't posted in a little bit. You haven't posted in a while, so is your business still open?
Yeah.
Like not even knowing that. And if they had a website, that would be easier to find that information.
Yeah.
As well as like, I know a lot of them are on like other different sites.
Yeah.
So it'd be like their Yelp reviews.
Yes.
Or and things like that was one of the ways I would find out like, okay, are they like, what kind of services do they offer? Because they had Yelp pages.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times they don't go back through and then do the due diligence of like updating those pages.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them were actually, after like digging through, I'm like, oh, okay, they either don't operate under this name anymore.
Yeah.
Or they're just not operating, period.
Yeah.
So it made it a little bit difficult to find people. And I think that was one of the things in the event that we really wanted to let people know.
Yeah.
Like you said, having a website, if something else was to go down your Instagram or your TikTok, like you need to have a place that you own.
Exactly.
So that way you're in control of it.
Yeah.
And you never lose that content. You don't lose that customer, base.
Yeah. Because I've seen even clients who don't have or haven't posted in like months, and they're still, they still have clients and everything. They're still open. And I'm just like, dude, get better with your social media, because if I don't post, it's honestly like maybe for a week or two, and then that's that. But I hired my daughter to post for me because I don't have time. But, it's like, or hire someone to post for you, hire someone to, if you don't have the time, to schedule all your stuff so that it's always on there. But yeah, get the website, because I think there was one business in particular that Matt and I were sitting here trying to figure out who this person was. And then the website, it just didn't, I think like the website didn't take you anywhere, or like it didn't show an address. It didn't show a phone number. So then it's like, why the fuck do you have the website?
Yeah.
Like, then, okay, you have but why? Like, you have none of the information that is needed for people to find out if you're still open or not available. Like, there was no booking, nothing, So I was like, okay, so what do we do now?
So it's just a landing page.
Yeah. But like, nothing, like there was no place to put a contact info in or contact, nothing. Like it was just whatever the name, and then like a little story, and then
just kind of like a bio.
I think there was like a service link that to show you what they offered, and then that was that. But no, like, okay, so where do I book you? Like, where do I go? None of that info. So, I mean, if you're going to have a website.
Yeah, you need the information so they can get a hold of you.
Even on just like a one page.
Yeah.
Like, you could put all the information you need on one page. Yes. And at least you have something to direct people to,
including like the book me on there, like your little button. I'm on your little, to click onto wherever they're going to book you on. But no, it had nothing. I was just like, okay, cool. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know why I think it's more of we're scared to try new things sometimes when it comes to things that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess that also then gets into it. I know I was talking about learning from like people that came before you. So they have already a set way that people in the beauty industry have been working for so long. Yes. And I know a lot of that is like word of mouth. Yes. So that's how a lot of people get their clientele. I know people have come up to me in San Antonio and it's like, they ask me, they're like, oh, who does your hair? Who does it? And then it's like, she don't have a website. I can give you her Instagram. Like, I don't know if she's still in the same location, all this other stuff. So when it comes to that, how much weight do you think word of mouth still has now that social media is so popular? I know a lot of people go on social media and they're like, they'll probably scroll for like ideas because I know people get ideas of like, oh, this is how I want my hair. This is what I want my makeup to look up. And then from there, they kind of like find a person based off of like the videos and stuff. Yeah. But how much do you think like just like every day-to-day contact or like, oh, I know a really good like esthetician. I know a really good. Like, how much weight do you think word of mouth still has now that everyone's on social media?
Sadly, I don't think as much because people are always on their phones and people don't even pick up the phone to have an actual conversation anymore. It's let me just text you. And it's so you don't even have that connection with somebody anymore like that, like when I was younger. That it was you, if somebody liked something that you had, you right away, oh yeah, this is who did it and this is their website or this is their business card. Now, if you give a business card, they're going to throw it away. Like it's rare that I have a bunch of business cards in my purse, because they gave them to me. So I'm going to keep them. Mm-hmm. But I feel like word of mouth is maybe if you give the name of a stylist to 10 people that you've met, maybe one person is actually going to go check them out. And the other 9 are going to go online or on Instagram and find their pictures. And the sad part about this is a lot of the times the hairstylists that are not the best will put filters on their pictures. And so the hair really doesn't look that color or the extensions really don't look that good, but that's because you're not looking underneath the extensions. And so a lot of what's been happening lately is you see all these pictures with extensions and they look so pretty and they're styled really nice. And then they go to another stylist and then the stylist lifts the hair and you see the tracks are all sewn in wrong. I just saw this yesterday. That's why I'm saying. I just saw an Instagram post where there was another stylist like looking under the hood and she actually said, she's like, they probably went because it was online. It was an Instagram post, but it wasn't a recommendation. So now look at what I have to fix. And the track was all like crooked and then it was already sliding off and it hadn't even been that long. The sewn, how they sewed it in, it was all weird, like it wasn't even perfect, so it lined up. So it's all those things that people don't realize. Like you should go to word of mouth, but it's like 1 in 10 go to word of mouth. I feel like
yes, because unless they're posting like different types of content, not just like the before and afters. Yeah. If they're posting, this is why I'm like, when I go and look at people's pages, I'm like, do they post like their techniques that they use and all this other stuff? Like, I really need to know because otherwise you're just going to end up going and you might get like a finished product, but they might have put it in and now when you go to uninstall, you're looking like, this is taking me forever because you took shortcuts and all this other stuff. So that's understandable because I know like I was saying, word of mouth was more popular back then, and I know I'm also a back thenner.
Back thenner?
Yeah. So like,
but she's a way younger than you back thenner.
Like you would go and ask, and I mean, I guess it just depends on like everyone's individual community, and who you have access to.
Yeah.
But especially in certain communities, it's definitely different. Where you like, well, who do you go to?
Yeah.
Being in different types of organizations as well, like it's easy for me to ask someone, for any kind of industry, and we're like, well, do you know someone who does this? Do you know someone who does that? Or even when I find out, like if she was like, oh, I went to go get my nails done, I'm like, well, who did your nails?
Yeah.
Well, let me look their stuff up.
Yeah.
And then you keep it in your back of your mind, like, I know, like I physically saw that in person. So I feel like, to me, that holds more weight. Like,
it does.
I can see it in person. I see your work in person, so I know I want to go do it. Sometimes I just look at stuff on social media and I'm like,
yeah, it looks too good to be true.
Yeah, like I don't know if I want to if I want to chance it, especially at some of the prices.
Yes. I know, especially for nails, you brought up a good point, because when I used to do nails, I had to make sure when I touched them that they were smooth, and and I always looked at every angle because I didn't want them to look lumpy. I wanted them to look perfect. But then there's people, when they post them on social media, they do a certain angle where, when the light is hitting them, it's going to hit in a way that if they do have any kind of dents or any lumps or anything, you're not going to be able to see it. So when I will not go to a nail tech that's just because of pictures. I have to, like you said, if I was just look at your nails, like, oh, they're cute. Who'd you go to? Is okay, cool. That's who I'm gonna go to, because my daughter went and got her nails done. When she got home, I was like, what the fuck did they do to you? I said, I told you I could do them for you. I just, she just was impatient. So they were really, they all looked the same size. And then they were lumpy, and I'm like, did you not look at her work? Did you know somebody? Well, I saw her pictures online, and that was your first mistake. That's one of those, you have to freaking see it in person. Go word of mouth, like go to back in the day, And
then they be taking those pictures like right after they do them, so the cuticles are all fresh. And then 2 days later, one of the nails and popped off because they don't put it on correctly. Yeah. And you're like, you would never know that just by looking.
No.
Man, I've had that happen before. I went to get, I got dip nails, and I think like a couple weeks later, they just started popping off.
Oh, those
which isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad about it because I wanted them to come off anyways, but yeah.
But nails are expensive now too. They are. I mean, when I used to do nails in California, the most that it was kind of pricey too, because I'm like, wait, the most that I would charge was like $100 for a set, but it was like heavily decorated, and a full set would start at $40. Obviously, this was 7 or 8 years ago, and that's how long I stopped doing nails. But now there is, and this girl promotes herself so good. I don't know if she has a website. I don't know if Nail Cafe, the Nail Cafe, I think it's called, or Nail Cafe. But she's here in San Antonio. She does an amazing job. She does the Russian manicure, I think it is. And she charges a flat fee, $165 for a set. But you only have to go to her once a month. Like, your nails are not lifting. Your cuticles don't look like shit. Like, she does a really good job. And you could ask for designs, and it's $165 flat rate. That's it. Obviously plus tip. I'm sure that if there is anything more or longer or whatever, it's more. But her nails look really good online, and her nails look really good in person. And she's showing technique. She talks about why her pricing is the way it is. So she is kind of giving that input on different things. She's marketing herself really well. Yeah. That's the only person I could think of that's doing that right now. Yeah. But your nails look cute.
Thank you.
I know. I'm like, I've been trying to, like, when we started talking about nails, I'm like, oh, They look good.
And I got them done 3 weeks ago.
No way.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking. Like, yeah, who do you go to?
That's what I'm like.
Right?
Hers last a long time.
Yeah.
Because
I
I don't
cute designs.
I don't go every other week like some people do.
Yeah.
Like, no, I go like every 4 weeks. But
Yeah.
it's a girl named Tu. She works at what's it called? Oh my gosh, it's a nail shop at the Rim.
Yeah, they look. I like them, and they're thin. They're not thick. See, this is all the things that I'm too far from you. But if not, I would be touching your nail right now to see if they were smooth. But they look smooth. They look very.
Yeah, no,
very
she does a good
cutesy.
job. Like while she's doing my nails, she's always like looking,
Yes.
to make sure they're smooth and like making sure they're even.
See?
Like
That's who you need to go to, guys.
and see, I found her because she did my friend's nails.
Yeah.
We went to this nail shop to get pedicures, and so I sat with her and like watched her do my friend's nails.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, those look really good.
Yeah.
Like
word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Word of
yeah,
mouth, and
and
then seeing her
yeah.
stuff in person too.
Yeah, that's word of mouth and websites, please, so we could show something,
Yeah.
Because then it is, now that you think, it is embarrassing when they ask you like who did whatever it is that, or where'd you go? Oh, so and so, but they don't have either Instagram or a website, or then you're like, oh, I could give you their number, maybe. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it's so, yeah, it's so true. Like, have a fucking website, guys. Sorry, my F-bombs.
Wait, so we can kind of use this to segue into the next question, but when you see like people have good work, you also like you want to leave a review.
Yes.
So how would you say like good reviews or bad reviews play into like marketing strategy, like for your business, for your beauty business?
People, it's so hard to get people to give you a review. Like, even if, you know that they love what you're doing. Like, I know for myself, I think I have 3 Google reviews. Yeah, I think I have 3, and I have way more than that in clients. And so it's like, I feel like it does play a good part because, especially with the clients that I do have, I've created like a relationship that's not just business, but also, outside of work. And so when I do see those reviews, I feel like if people are looking at those reviews, they're going to be more, what's the word? But more
Like inclined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. More inclined to actually want to contact me, rather than, although when I look for reviews, I look to see if they have any bad reviews first. Why do we do that? I don't know. But I always make sure, like, okay, what are their bad reviews? How long ago were the bad reviews?
Yeah.
And how many bad reviews have they had since?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I feel like it's, a lot of the times, like, I know for my business one time, when I was doing hair, somebody left me a really negative review. And I was like, I've never even seen them. Like, I don't even know who they are. They've never been to my shop. Like, I didn't know who they were. So I asked Google to take them off. And I said, they've never been to my shop. And they did take it off. But it took so long to prove, like, I didn't know who that person was. They never got their hair. There was no pictures. But I think you have to also be open-minded when you are looking at reviews to know, okay, why were they mad? Mm-hmm. Like, were they mad just because they were just waiting to write a review? And then I go and look to see who wrote the review, and I look at all the reviews too.
The review history.
Yeah, because then you see, like, okay, they're just...
Yeah, this person's inclined to just have a negative aspect on
yes.
life. Like, no.
Yeah. Because have you ever seen that where they, like, all the reviews are negative reviews, and I'm just like, are you ever happy? Like... But I think for me, what's worked has been word of mouth and the podcast, honestly, because I BS a lot. I'm serious about my work, but I've always said I don't like to show someone that I'm really not. I used to always, I used to always have to act a certain way or be a certain way because I wanted people to like me. And then I realized I wasn't being myself. So then I had to be myself in order for me to like me, And so when I started being myself and not caring about what others thought. I think even whether it's social media, whether it's in person, or whether it's at any business events, I'm still me. I try to cuss a little less when I'm obviously in professional settings. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but it's me, And so I think for me, it's not so much the reviews that have worked for me to get clients, but it's been more of the word of mouth and my clients recommending me to other people, and also my podcast, because I have gotten people because of the podcast and because they've heard me. So when I say my first meeting, I always say, I'm sorry, I do cuss a little. Like, this is just me. It's not that I'm trying to. It just, they're like, oh, yeah, we heard you on the podcast. I'm like, oh, we're good then. Yeah. So it makes me feel a little more at ease, when they already know who I am. So, yeah. So it's not so much the review part.
Yeah. And that kind of goes into, like, people's, like, the branding and personal, like, they like you as a person.
Yes.
So they're more inclined to be like, okay, like, and because you're on the podcast and people get to hear you talk a lot, they get a sense of like, oh, I know her before I even get to like be in the chair or sit down with you. So they kind of get a sense of like, okay, cool. Like, I already know I'm gonna like her. We just need to get this done.
Yeah. So that's why, like, I think also people should have podcasts.
Yes,
right?
Business owners should have podcasts.
Yeah.
And like, it also helps to work, like, your personal brand definitely will attract people to your business. When people like you, they'll want to work with you.
Yes.
No one wants to work with someone they don't like.
Right, I know. I think, so my logo used to be very boring before. I created it because I was like, it has to be professional. It just has to. But it wasn't me, like, I have colored hair. I don't have my but I used to have piercings as well and stuff. And I just don't put them because I'm too lazy. But, it's one of those that you wouldn't expect a bookkeeper or an accountant or a CPA to have, to have tattoos, to have colored hair. And so I felt that with my old logo, it was like, it was saying something that I wasn't. And my new logo is like, okay, it's my hair colors. Like that, it's fun. Like, I'm professional when it comes to my work. And I'm going to tell you not to spend your money. I'm going to tell you to get your shit together when it comes to your spending and to how you want to do business, how you want to grow. But me having tattoos, me having piercings, me having hair colored, like it doesn't mean that I don't know my stuff. And I think that's like a misconception that a lot of other people might have sometimes. Yeah. But I think that was, I went off on a different question. Wait.
So now onto your bookkeeping.
Yeah.
And we were talking about social media. Pause. So how do you feel about paid advertising in the beauty services as opposed to organic growth?
So I would much rather go with organic growth. And that was before getting to know how paid advertising goes and like listening to like Claudia and Matt speak about how like it helps and everything. I didn't know how great paid advertising works, but the only one that I don't like and I just cannot get on board with it is the Google ads. Like on Instagram, I don't mind it, because it's cool. Like it puts your stuff up there and then people are more inclined to like look at your, go to your page. But for Google ads, maybe it's just because of my age, but when I see sponsored on the Google ads, it makes me not want to click on them. I see Google ads and I'm just like, and now that I know that if you click on it, it charges you, I might click on it just because, but not because I really want the service. Like I know it charges them. And it's like, it might work and I'm sure it does work for some other people. And I'm sure like the younger generation, you're you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
So do you click on sponsored ads?
No, like I skip over them.
Right. Okay. So I'm not. How about you?
I skip over them.
Yeah.
Even if I'm looking up like a specific website and the sponsored post comes up, I'm just gonna like skip over it and click on the regular like non-sponsored website.
Okay, so if it's for somebody that I actually know and that I'm actually trying to get to their page, I will not click on the sponsored ad. Mm-hmm. But if it's for someone that I don't know and that I might not like, then I'll click on it, you know? And I know that's sad, but
like pay the dollar for my click.
Actually, it's that psychology of like people don't want to be sold to.
Yes.
And as soon as you see the word sponsored or ad, which I know like on certain things on social media, like you have to include it because for legal reasons.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want you to sell to me.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of want to build that relationship of me liking, like getting to know your product, getting to know you, and then me making the decision versus you like, here's
in your
this
face.
thing. Yes. Here's this thing I have. Buy it. And it feels like when I see the sponsored, I'm like,
right?
Yeah. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
It gives me the ick.
Yeah. Same. So, but on Instagram is different. Yes. When I see those damn sponsored ads, it's always freaking targeting me. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then I click on it. And I end up buying stuff.
Because even though some of them, like, they'll have the banner that's like, shop now. Yes. A lot of times, though, the video it may be like UGC content or, you know, an influencer. So you don't necessarily feel like you're being sold to because of the way they're coming off.
Yes.
Like they're speaking to experience. And it's also kind of giving you that... I kind of, it's like a fake word of mouth. Like somebody else other than the brand is vouching for this. Yeah. So it intrigues me more to be like, okay, well, if they
do you know how many things I've purchased from sponsored ads on there? And oh my God, the TikToks.
I won't let TikTok shop get me.
I have not let it get me. But I be on there just sometimes, and then like
I got the cutest bag there.
When they go live,
I got a wig from there from a live one time. It was a really cute wig. Like I was like, oh girl, like it was pink and
it's nice because you get to see it in real time.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not gonna lie
trying
though.
It on and
I saw like this at-home Pilates reformer thing, and I was like, ooh, that actually looks like really good. So I bookmarked the post to come back to it.
And see,
oh man, and
it's probably gonna pop back up and be like, hey, don't forget about this.
Yeah.
See, I don't go on TikTok enough for it to like fully sell me, but like I'm thinking about it.
Man, you know, I bought on TikTok market or TikTok whatever the heck shop. Yeah. They had this really cute it was almost like the oh my gosh. I forgot what my words today. But it was like a cute little bag. It was normally they go on your belly.
Okay, like the fanny pack.
A fanny pack, but it was a giant fanny pack, and you put it across. So I got that for my mom because I know she hates purses and stuff, but I know she wouldn't wear a fanny pack. So I got her that, and it was the material was so soft, and it was like when we got it, it was huge. It was like $10. So believe me, there's all these things.
Stuff on TikTok shop it'd be discounted.
Yes.
No, I get
Temu, girl.
No, the Instagram ads really get me because they show me stuff that I like.
Yeah.
And I go on the website and look at it. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
I could use this.
Yeah.
And then I've ordered some stuff and I'm like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah, that happened to me yesterday. I bought a course on that for Procreate. Like, why? But again, because I've seen it pop up on my Instagram many times, and because it shows you different techniques on how to draw, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool. I haven't found any of these techniques on YouTube. So yeah, I got sold. Again, sponsored ad on Instagram. So I do believe in sponsored ads, but only for, I think, Instagram. For Facebook, it's a hit or miss, I think, because Facebook could also feel like you're being sold to on some things. The ones that get me on Facebook are mostly like the homeschool sponsored ads where they're trying to sell you a study unit or like, and I'm talking about that one because I just saw that yesterday too. Everybody's being sold to right now, especially me. But it was like they show you a curriculum for writing, and I think because I've been saying that I'm having issues with teaching the different grade levels right now for language arts, and then all this shit's popping up, and I'm like, okay. So I have a few things bookmarked because I was looking through their reviews, through their comments to see who's actually bought the program, but I'm more hesitant to buy on Facebook ads than I am on Instagram. Yeah. So, yeah, if you want to sell people, Instagram is the place.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Right? Yeah.
Or TikTok Shop.
I think TikTok Shop is more of, more for items. I think service-wise, because I've also booked a chiropractor service through sponsored ad on Instagram. So I think for local, it works really well as well.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of your clients that are doing like paid advertisement on social media? Like that's part of in their budgets?
Maybe 2 or 3, not many. I think one of them, she only does every once in a while. And I think if she did more, it would be more beneficial to her. And then the others, I think they do it throughout like their slow season. And then others don't even use social media as much. Again, I think they should. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do you think is something that's holding back beauty industry professionals when it comes to marketing?
Not knowing.
Yeah.
Not knowing. I think that's it. It's not knowing. Or being sold by bigger companies. There's one company in particular that is not local, or they have a local rep, but they're super expensive and they really don't do much for you. Like I can't even remember the name of the company to call them out, but they have like I had one of my clients, I actually had her cancel with this company. Also because I got advice from a marketing professional, marketing professional. Obviously, Matt, I said, okay, this is what they're getting, and he's like, what the heck? So luckily her contract was almost over, so she canceled as soon as it ended, but she was paying a lot of money and there was no return on investment at all. Mm-hmm. What was the question? I completely went off. I'm so sorry.
What's something that's like holding back beauty professionals?
Yeah, sorry. I'm like, wait. Yeah, so I think it's just not being educated on the part of who to go to. And a lot of the times, we just look online rather than word of mouth. So I'm always recommending you guys because I know, one, you guys are not just trying to make money off of the people. You guys are actually trying to help people grow their business, and the whole SEO part that I knew nothing about, and I'm still learning. And there's some things that I still don't understand, and that's okay. But anytime that I try to educate my clients on SEOs and on coming to you guys, because you guys are going to be honest with what they need, and you're not just trying to sell them something to make a quick dollar off of them. Yeah. So I think that it's just that the education is not there. Mm-hmm. And maybe I should do an episode on marketing so that, the beauty industry gets their shit together.
They'll listen and get a website.
Yes, get a website.
With information on it.
Yes, not just your salon name, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that could be like a course.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're saying they basically are coming out of like beauty school not knowing anything about the business.
Yeah.
That would be like a great extension of their learning.
Yes.
Do they then so right after beauty school, they go into
right after beauty school, you're just like, what do I do? Seriously.
Do they get like internships or like?
No. You got to go in. Supposedly, there's career services at school. And then when you go to career services, they want to send you to do free work or an assistant or just to wash hair. At least back then for me, I was like, I'm not doing that shit. I should have probably, but instead I went and opened my own salon. Because apparently I don't like people telling me what to do. But yeah, you're honestly like the only things you're told in school is, or at least that I was told in my beauty school, was you could either work as a commission stylist hourly or rent a booth. So I don't think I even tried to, like, I didn't even attempt to go work at a salon in California. When I got out of beauty school, I had my shop at home for a while. And then I was going to school to get my business degree at the same time. And then finally I was like, okay, during the time that I was in business school, then that's when I started opening my salon. Because I was like, oh, they're helping me how to do a business plan and do all this shit. I mean, you know, at least as much as they could. But I wish there would have been someone at school, or even that there was somebody that, I guess an influencer maybe, or somebody on Facebook or Instagram, or I think MySpace back then. Shit, I'm that old. But to kind of say like, look, these are the steps you should take, or this is how you should start, or this is something like, but no, nobody ever tells you any of that. So I think, yeah, a course would be so good to teach to not just the people who are just coming out of school, but also the whole beauty industry.
Yeah, because I know probably a good amount of people, if they don't want to go work in a salon for someone else, then they're pretty much doing stuff like out of their house or which, if you're doing that, you should probably
be careful. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yes, be careful. I was going to say. Well, my thought was like Google business profiles. Yes.
No,
like, don't put your home address online.
No.
Which is why they would need a website.
Yeah. Yeah. Because obviously, I mean, it's not legal, but you got to start somewhere. And I think sometimes when you're just starting and you don't have anybody to tell you how to start, your best bet is like, you're going to make it work however it works for you at that moment. So for me, I've always told, even when we've gone to the schools and when I've spoken at the schools, I always tell them, like, build your clientele while you're in school, because you could bring in clients to school. So you have, I think it's, when I was in school, you had the last 3 hours of class, I think, where we had an open salon and people would come in and you would do services, and that was your practice. A lot of times, you might be able to get clients from there, but other times the clients who have been going there, it's like, no, they go to beauty school to get their services done because it's cheaper. But even then, I know that the clients that I used to get, they would prefer to go to my house rather than the school, because they just would rather pay me, because at the school we didn't get paid. The only money you made was the tips, and that was it. The school was the one making the money. So then that's why I would take clients at home, because I wanted to get paid. And I built my clientele that way, and enough to be able to open my own shop and continue like that. So back then, I do wish, though, somebody would have told me, at least start off with your website so that you have somewhere that people could come and find you. Even if you're no longer in school and you do have clients following you, if they look you up, you're going to come up. So, I think more education is needed for that.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
So I guess for beauty professionals that are just finishing up school, how should they budget if they want to start up their own business? So they're allotting for salon suite space or product, all that stuff.
Not me trying to advertise for Sola, but so at Sola, and the reason I bring it up, and again, not because I do their social media, but no other salon suites that I know of they will not offer you free product. They will not offer you any of that. So for solo, you could easily just have $500 to your name to open up your studio, because you just need your deposit, which is, I think, 1 or 2 weeks rent, and then your first week. I think that's how I can't remember, but I think it was like $500 that I needed to, to put down to hold my space. Then they paint your room for you. You get $400 in retail product, and in my case, I was able to use half of it for bag bar, and then the other half for retail product. So I didn't even have to buy product to start doing hair, because that was a deal that he had going on. And then on top of that, you get 4 free weeks when you move in. So you really could start off your business at a solo salon suite for under $1,000. Because then obviously, your licensing, which your mini salon license, I think is like $75. And then by this time you already have your Cosmo license or ST license. So then you don't have to worry about that. But then, you already basically started your business with under $1,000, and even with retail product to sell, which you make double the money. So there alone, like, that's literally all your investment. So then the next thing would be, okay, you're starting to take clients, you're starting to make money, start putting money aside so you could build your website, start putting money aside to do your LLC. So you really don't need much money to start when you're starting off at a salon studio, except for your clients. Yeah, but that's that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Sorry, slightly off topic.
No, that's okay.
But I thought it was I guess important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry,
because in my mind, I would think in order to get a salon or be in a studio, you would have to have. And I'm sure a lot of other people think the same thing. I need to have a certain amount of client base, and I need to have a certain amount of money to actually get started in a suite.
So client base, I feel like, yes. At least enough to get, you need to have enough clients in a month. The way that as hairstylists we look at things, okay, so we are going to do balayage this week. Okay, so I'm going to charge this much. That's enough money for my rent for this week, and then everything else is extra. That's how you can. Or I have 5 haircuts or 3 haircuts, however many, and that makes up your rent for the week, and then everything else is extra, or it's to put however you want to kind of word it. But as long as you have some clientele that is going to help you. I had no clients when I opened up my studio, like 0. I had just moved here from California, and I was like, I tried to find a salon, and again, I don't like working for anyone. I think I've worked for people in my life maybe 4 times, if that. Maybe 4 times. That was it. And I just don't like being told what to do. I don't like not having creative freedom. So for me, it was one of those, okay, I can't find a salon that I click with. So then my next step is have my own studio. And I went in again. I probably had $500 to my name to be able to put into my business. And that's what I did. But I also got on all these Facebook groups to try to advertise. I did, I think, raffles and stuff within mom groups. I did, if you go my page and if you share it and you do, all kinds of different things, you're entered to win. I think I get the first time to get a client in or to get someone in so I could take pictures. I offered free highlights and a haircut with a style. And with that one person, I started filling up my books and it was word of mouth. Yeah. So I think if you really are determined to do something, you could start any business with no clients. And as long as you're willing to put in the work and to do what it takes to be able to build that clientele, it doesn't matter like how much money you have to your name at that moment. Yeah. To put into your business, because you can have $0. Just have that willpower. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
I think that about wraps up. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
talking
guys.
to us
No,
about
this was
marketing
fun.
in the beauty industry. We learned a lot, and obviously, as always, it's a great conversation with you. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram as Beauty Pro Bookkeeping, and you can find me at beautyprobookkeeping.com. I do have a website.
Yay.
And I think those are the 2 platforms that I'm on. Oh, and Facebook as well as Beauty Pro Bookkeeping. Everything's Beauty Pro Bookkeeping. That way we don't get lost. Yeah.
Right.
So thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming. This is While Supplies Last, the marketing podcast. Once again, I'm Gabby.
And I'm Candace.
Yeah, thanks again for coming. We loved having you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.